Hello everyone, welcome to my video which is going to be about my Land's End to Leicester solo tour trip that I did last year. So I'll be telling you a little bit about it and answering some of the questions that I received over on my Instagram page. So my trip was a self-supported tour from Land's End to Leicester. I got a train from my home in Leicester, down to Penzance, and then I rode down to Land's End and basically all the way home. So it's across a few days. Day one, so I spent getting the train, which took a lot longer than it should have. It was bank holiday weekend, the train was rammed, they cancelled a load of services, everything just went wrong. So it was a rammed train, but I was just glad to get there. So I got to Penzance and then I did a little round route from Penzance down to Land's End and back. Stayed the night in Penzance and then my tour started from there. That was 25 miles on day one, and then I did day two was Penzance to Oakhampton. Day three, Oakhampton to Bath. Day four, Bath to Stratford upon Avon, and then day five, Stratford upon Avon to my home in Leicester. And I also ride home on my birthday, so that was quite nice. So I decided to opt to stay in youth hostels along the way. And the Youth Hostel Association is brilliant, I love it. It's just a really cheap and easy way of staying at different places across the country, and they're always positioned in really nice locations. So I stayed in the dorms just because it's the most economic way of staying. It's really cheap, probably about £20 a night. And I met some really lovely people. Like every time I arrived, I ended up having a chat with somebody. Just really nice outdoor people. So yeah, I'd recommend it. The only thing is just to check about the bike storage options and if they've got somewhere safe to keep your bike. So next question, how did I plan my routes? I plan my routes through mainly just through plotting them on Strava. So from one place, just putting in the start and finish locations and letting it plot out a route for me, and then just being really careful just to sort of look through and check that it's not taking me on any sort of bridle paths and stuff. And actually I was really lucky, I didn't have any major issues really. And I also used a bit of the Susterans website just because they get you on the National Cycle Network, and they're roads that are just really nice to cycle on and where you're going to get the best views. So yeah, that was a good one. That was good. So I had a question about how did I feel for this trip and did I have a plan? In terms of a plan, definitely not. How did I feel for it? I ate when I was hungry. So you really are relying on carrying a little bit of food, eating a good breakfast, and just finding places to eat along the way. So cafes, little shops, garages, anywhere really, just to get some fuel. There was one, I think it was the day where I was riding from Oakhampton to Bath, and I hit about 40 miles in, I really hit a bit of a low, and I couldn't find anywhere for food, and it just took me ages to find somewhere, and I really was questioning like why I was doing this trip. It was just a bit of a low point. But yeah, I've got it back on track. So I think the thing is really for me in terms of lessons, that would be to make sure when I arrive at the destination to just really fuel up, ready for the next day, because I've done a few things where I've ridden big rides back to back, but yeah, the fueling, you've just got to get it right, because bonking is never good. So yeah, just keep up the fuel basically, and the hydration. In terms of luggage and kit and everything that I was carrying, I went really light. It was in the middle of a heat wave, so I didn't need to worry about taking lots of warmer clothing, and actually I kept the kit that I had really light. So basically I think I had one pair of shorts, 2 jerseys, a couple of pairs of socks, t-shirt, shorts, a bit of fuel, kit to your general kit for bike repairs, tubes, multi-tool, and that was about it really. So, and I didn't need anything more. I had a shower in the hostels, so you've got access to towels and things there if you hire them. I kept it light. I didn't really want to be carrying everything, and although I would love to be self-sufficient in camping for this trip, I just kept it light. So yeah, it was the right thing to do. And I think I had jeans in my bag at the start before I left, and I took them out just because I wasn't going to need them, So yeah, kept it really light. In terms of bags, this is the bag that I took. So it's Ortlieb, and these bags are brilliant because you can just sort of roll it down to the length that you need. It just fits on the back of your bike, and this was just ideal for what I needed. I had some help from Rutland Cycling, so they kindly lent this bag to me so that I could test it out, and I was really pleased with it, and I really would recommend this. Someone did ask me if I felt the bag swinging, and I would say it does change how your bike handles, and that did take a little bit of getting used to, especially when you're out saddle and you start climbing. But it's one key thing is just to make sure you're strapping it up really, really tightly from here onto your seat post, and then also these straps here which go under your seat as well. So you'll see from the videos that I'm posting how it attaches. But yeah, just making sure it's attached as snugly as it can to your bike really is key. It was waterproof, had no issues there. And then at the end of the day, when I'd left my bike in the bike storage, take the bag off, take it in with me, and then I've got everything I need for the evening. So I definitely really would recommend one of these for lightweight kind of bike touring trips. My dad asked me, nice little question from my dad, asking what was the one piece of kit that I couldn't do without, and that is definitely my Garmin Edge. So I got a new Garmin earlier this year, Garmin Edge 530, and I've been really, really chuffed with it. And the thing that I loved was how easy the routes were to follow. So I definitely couldn't have done it without that. I could not have navigated from Land's End to Leicester on my own without having a map to follow. Well, I probably could have, but it made it a lot easier having it there. Yeah, and I also love the climb feature. I think it's like Pro Climb or something, and it shows you the climbs as you're going up. So it grades it in like red sections, and it shows you where you are and how much elevation and distance you have to go. So when you don't know the routes and you don't know what's coming, that is an absolute godsend. And at the start of the route, it told me you've got 19 climbs today, and then it's just a matter of ticking them off as you go along. Which for someone who's not a natural climber, for me that was brilliant. So I really, really like that. And yeah, I couldn't ride without my Garmin now. So another question: what was the best thing about travelling solo? So I'm not afraid of my own company. I'm sociable, but equally I really like spending time on my own. So the fact of being on, travelling on my own, for me, it wasn't daunting. The thing that sort of gave me a bit of concern was other people's reactions. So when you sort of say you're doing this trip and you're doing it solo, they're kind of like, what? Kind of showing quite a lot of concern for me. But in reality, it was fine. I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt out of my depth. When I set off, I did question myself as to, can I actually do this? Am I crazy? But I guess that's just a bit of the anxiety and excitement about it, really, which is what makes these things good. I always think challenges where you're not quite sure if you can do it, they're some of the best ones. So I really enjoyed travelling solo. In terms of the best thing, it'd just be doing things on my own agenda. So the fact that I could stop whenever I wanted and just see, what's over here, or I'll just stop and have something to eat or drink, or check the view, climb at my own speed, descend at my own speed. It was just doing things on my own agenda, and all I had to do was just from get to A to B, and that was actually really rewarding, and it was really refreshing as well. Have like quite a busy, stressful job, lots going on. I'm always rushing from one thing to the next. So that was just my own agenda, just riding from A to B and taking a few nice pictures along the way. So yeah, loved it. So another question: is Le Jog on the cards, Land's End John O'Groats? I would say I would love to do Land's End John O'Groats. That really would be something I would love to do. And actually it crossed my mind, could I just carry on going north from Land's End? But I didn't have enough time. That's the only thing, it's having time to do these things. And also I was blessed with really good weather, which was really lucky. So that made my trip a lot easier. So I would love to do Land's End John O'Groats, and I would happily do it solo, but it's just finding time to do it along with all of my other bike trips and tours and races and weekends that I've got to fit in. So I just need more time please, less work. The highs and lows. The highs are probably going to be the beautiful places that I passed in the UK. So I especially like the areas around Bath, going up to the Cotswolds. That was beautiful, and I didn't expect it to be so nice, probably because it's not an area that I know a lot about. So that was really, really lovely. And some of the climbs, there's tough climbs. It's quite a rolling area. but they're really, really rewarding and really, really stunning. So that was a high. The low was probably my near bonk on day 2, when I was there drinking chocolate milk outside a local tiny little village post office, just fueling whatever I could. Totally my own fault. But yeah, that was probably a low point.